Steer clear of counteroffers. If you're at the point where you're haggling over price, your relationship with your employer is all but over. Waiving a competing offer at your employer will not end well. I've been in the business world for over 40 years, even been the VP of HR for Microsoft, and in my experience, you should not seek or accept a counteroffer. When you're first negotiating your job offer, discussing compensation, haggling over the price is fine, even expected. At that time, all points of your employment are open for agreement. You and your future employer are trying to come to reasonable terms, to figure each other out. It's perfectly reasonable, even encouraged, to push back on the terms of your job offer. I did a video a few months ago on the many ways you can negotiate the various components of your offer. That link is here and in the description. But once you've been in the job for a while, everything changes. You've established yourself as a competent, even outstanding employee. Your employer knows you and your work, and the terms of your relationship are stable. If you get another job offer and approach your employer with it, they'll be caught off guard. They might even be hurt. It doesn't matter if you previously used your one-on-one time with your manager to make your needs for more compensation clear. Threatening to leave changes everything. You've gone as far as to interview and pursue another job all the way to the point of a firm offer. For your current employer to feel some sense of betrayal is to be expected. To be clear, the company that's now questioning your loyalty has none for you. At the first sign of a downturn or your struggle with performance, you'd be let go in a heartbeat. Yes, this is not a fair or equitable relationship. That's true, but you already knew that. What has happened is the delicate balance of trust has been broken. Your employer was assuming, even trusting, that you would continue to work under the existing terms. You've surprised them by being willing to walk away for what? Something as trivial as money? What then happens depends on your situation. Often they turn on you, escort you to the door, and remain hurt or insulted. Other times, if your position or the situation is critical, they might try to convince you to stay. First, they'll try the non-monetary approach. They'll talk about how much you enjoyed the work and your peers and the challenges and the perks and so on. Maybe they'll even speak highly of your potential future there. Beyond that, they'll occasionally try to counteroffer to convince you to stay. They'll match or beat the offer from the outside. The question is, should you take it? I argue that you should never take a counteroffer. But why? There are many components that make up a job: the work, the people, the culture, the products, the mission, and yes, the compensation. Yet you've already interviewed and received an offer from another company. That indicates you're willing to move on from the many other components of your current job. Something besides money was probably also not right where you are. Something money alone can't fix. Yet even if money is the only reason, you need to ask yourself, why now? Why are they only willing to offer me the money I deserve when I threaten to leave? The answer is often depressing because they didn't think you were worth it. They're only offering it now because they're in a bind. When they've been forced to make you a counteroffer, the company will feel like they've been held hostage. They won't trust you again. What's to prevent you from going out and getting another offer next month, holding them hostage yet again? The company will be wary. You won't be trusted with the sole ownership of projects. You could be gone. You won't be invested in for additional training or opportunities. Why invest in someone who can leave so easily? You won't even get the raises or promotions you might otherwise deserve. Because with those things in short supply, they'll give them to people who are not a risk to lead. You may get your counteroffer, but that's all you'll get. You've made it clear to them that your relationship with the company is purely economic. Fine, they may say, we can play that game too. And that delicate balance of trust is gone. This is not always what happens. There are occasions where a counteroffer happens, and over time, the trust bond is reestablished. Through slow and tentative work, the employer regains some confidence. But that's rare, and in my experience, only happens with a very few high-value or specialized employees. Normal, everyday workers, your average creatives or program managers or project leads, are never trusted again. What happens almost always is that you've made your terms clear. You're just here for the money. As the saying goes, not that there's anything wrong with that, but the pretense is all gone. Your relationship to your job is different. It's purely economic. My advice is either take another job or don't. Don't expect your employer to counteroffer. They might not. And whatever you do, don't use an outside offer as leverage unless you are 100% willing to take that other job. It may well be the only one you've got. Even if you do get a counteroffer and accept it, the terms of your employment are now completely different. And you might not like that new relationship at all.